Hello. So this is the BookBonk podcast. My name is Chilly, and this is my friend Ray.
Hello, everyone.
We're doing a podcast over books, or our first book's going to be Fourth Wing. If you have any other books you want us to go through and read, leave a comment or send us an email, and we'll look into that. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and talk about our little bit of our background of Fourth Wing, because we've both read the books before, and we're going through and rereading them. And my friend Ray over here has, of course, obsessed with the books and read them all. I have not.
Yes, I have. I read all three of them, and I loved the majority of it. The story just kind of kept me going every single time. Whenever the most recent book came out, I was like at Barnes and Noble. Like, I had signed up to go to their midnight release, and then it got canceled because of snow. But I got it that next day, so yeah.
The one time we get snow.
Literally. I was like, of all the days I get snow, it has to be during the Onyx Storm release party.
I remember you getting that, and then I don't know if it was that day or the next day or something. It was within that few days range. I went and looked, and the reviews were all bad about the book.
Yeah, it felt like she had to throw in all of these different attributes that are going to be really important later. And it was just a little overwhelming. A lot of people said that they were really confused on what was going on. They were really confused on who different characters were. And I felt that. The third book was not my favorite, but I mean, I read it. I'm excited for the rest of them because I do think it was her setting up really important plot points and information that's going to be useful later. Only time will tell. And she's not even starting writing it for another year and a half or something. So
dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's doing a novella in between.
Who would have known? But yeah, and then of course, supposedly in works is a TV series for the series as well.
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant on that one. I'm excited, but also I've seen show and movie retellings of books that just kind of lose everything that the books hold, the overall meanings behind them. And I mean, there are some that do it really well, but there are some that do it really poorly, and it just depends on casting for characters, the overall, what's the word?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of the word. I was thinking vibe, but not vibe, but authenticity.
Ooh.
Of the relationships between the characters. And also CGI, because you're going to be working with dragons. Spoiler alert, this book has dragons.
Oh my gosh.
Who doesn't know that.
It's about dragons? Who would have known? Yeah, this book is about dragons. For anyone who has not read these books, we won't spoil anything. We'll go along as we go along, partially because, like I said, I haven't finished them, so it'll be spoiling myself as well. But the general vibe of the book is military dragons.
Basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Military school for dragon riders.
I saw it was on TikTok. Someone commented about it, and as I'm rereading it, I'm getting a flashback to the first time I'm reading it, and I go, they have a point. It does give off Divergent vibes.
I actually never read Divergent, but I've seen the first two movies, but I wasn't a huge reader growing up, and I feel like fantasy, adult fantasy is what got me back into reading, and smut, but and although I love a nonfiction too now, but growing up I was not a big reader.
I loved reading Addicted. I'm still reading Addicted.
Yeah, I am now. I get it. I get it now.
Also, for some more background for everyone, I obsessed with books. I read books. However, I do not really ever listen to the audiobooks. That's Ray's job.
I love an audiobook. I have multiple reading disabilities, so following along in an actual book while the audiobook is playing is really helpful for me. I mean, like, if they don't have an audiobook, I will read them. It, like, physically, it just takes me, like, a very long time, which kind of sucks. But now I love me an audiobook, especially when you get, like, really great narrators. Like, right now I'm listening to Caught Up because that came out yesterday, by Nevessa Allen, and it's got Teddy Hamilton, who is such an incredible narrator. And it's so good. 10 out of 10. No notes.
Noted. Yeah, and then for me, I just like reading things, but most of it is either fantasy, what is it they call it now? Romance fantasy. So that's like the smut stuff, as Ray's mentioned. I grew up with like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson. Oh, was it the Seven Realms series? Oh, I love that series. And of course, to throw out another one in there, is the Shadow and Bones. I read that, the first book of that, back when I was like freaking, I don't know, 13, 14, I want to say. Read the first book. It pissed me off. Never picked it up again until the TV show was stated as coming out on Netflix. Then I was like, oh, I still have those books. And then I picked it up and actually read the series.
Yeah, I still haven't read it. I picked it up from the library, but it has just sat on my shelf since I picked it up. If I'm being completely honest, I got so many books that I have to read that, like, I can't afford to keep buying new books. I don't have the time to read the books that I do have.
I think I still have a full shelf on my bookshelf of books I haven't read, and some of them are like from a decade ago.
Yeah.
To get kind of the vibe of me and these books is I love reading them, but I also love hating on them. I'm in a love-hate relationship with books, with most of these. Shadow and Bone, I love it and I hate it. Fourth Wing, I love it and I hate it. So this might be a good cop, bad cop situation.
I love this book. This one's probably my favorite out of the three that have come out so far. Although the second one's also really good, but I feel like the characters have really great, like, growth throughout this entire first book, and I like that. I like that a lot.
Valid. I know when I first read the first book, it was good. I read things the first time just pure enjoyment. Generally, as long as I read it and I'm having fun, it's a good book. And then I go through and reread it, and then I start thinking, and I go, "What are they doing?" So I like it, and I don't, and it's complicated. It throws me back to the Divergence though when I'm reading it, just thinking on it, because I read the first book and I got like halfway through the second book before I got distracted. Didn't pick it up again. And me reading the Divergence series, read the first book, liked it, started reading the second book, didn't finish it. I forget how long before I went and circled back, read the second book, and then I think I started reading the third book. I don't think I ever finished that. I think I went up to someone else who I knew who finished it and demanded they tell me the ending. I'm pretty certain that's what I did. I forget what other books I've done that to before, but I might have only done that to the Divergent series.
Yeah. I visited Chicago and someone was like, yeah, Divergent was based on Chicago. And then I saw the Ferris wheel and I was like, oh my gosh, I've peaked. It was great.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like the, like, Ferris wheel scene is like, it's like based off of like dystopian Chicago, and like the Ferris wheel scene is like quote unquote like at like Navy Pier, which is pretty cool.
That's so cool. I say as I love and hate Ferris wheels.
Yeah, I mean, that was just what I was told, so don't quote me or anything, but I was like, that's pretty cool.
Quote him on that. Everybody quote him.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. But that is what I was told. And I went and I was like, man, I'm here. This is cool. This is so cool. One of these days I'll actually read the books and it'll be great. And everyone will be shocked because, well, maybe not so much shocked because I don't own them. So I'll go out and buy them and then they'll just sit on my shelf forever.
Looking pretty as a princess.
Yeah, like all of my other books that I haven't gotten to yet.
Another book that we've both read, which actually read the series first and then Ray read it, was, of course, the Another big popular romantasy genre book is the Court of Thorns and Roses series.
Yes. I love that series. Okay, however, the first book, not it. You gotta get through the first book and then it gets so much better. Yeah, we should definitely do episodes on that series. Or I could finally get you to read Crescent City, which is my favorite of Sarah J. Maas's books. Those books for so long.
I think I literally bought it and I have the ebook. I just get distracted and I haven't read it, or I like read the first page, maybe.
No, we gotta do that because Bryce is such a badass character, and I think you're gonna love her, but also like I don't know for sure because your love hatred with books.
I read it, and mind you, like I said, the first time reading it, I like
Only time
it.
will tell. I love that series.
It's enjoyable, but the longer I think, the more I'm just like, what are they doing? Especially if I reread it. So the first book of Court of Thorn and Roses. So like the first book of Court of Thorn and Roses, I read it. I enjoyed it. I don't think I've reread it quite, or I started rereading it at one point, but I was thinking about it, and Ray started reading it. And I turned to Ray when Ray was reading it, and I was like, Feyre is an interesting character. She's stupid. And it's not because she's illiterate, because she doesn't know how to read. And that's not the part that she's stupid about that pisses me off when I read, like, her.
I feel like she just didn't have any common sense.
Pretty much.
Or logistical thinking skills.
It's the critical thinking. It's like, that's something you can develop it, mind you, but it's not something that you have to be, like, super intelligent to have.
Yeah.
It was just like you're reading it, and it's just like, oh, you made a deal and you're supposed to go hang out with the Fae, etc. And your family's supposed to be protected. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm going to traverse this, like on my own, the lands of the Fae, which is going to kill me because we've established that it kills everybody. And somehow I will succeed and go back to my family.
She said, I'll be the first.
Or her injured dad is suddenly appeared and traversed that dangerous terrain to her. It's wild thinking. And it was the fact that it wasn't like she ever questioned it. It was a problem. It was just the full-hearted confidence of it.
Yeah, I mean, there are things to be said about her confidence, at least.
I love her confidence, but oh my gosh, that confidence.
That confidence gonna get her killed if we ever get the next book.
Oh, I never finished that series either. Fun fact, I got to the last book and started reading it, the silver one, and never finished it. I don't even know if I got halfway through it.
I liked that one. It wasn't my favorite, but it made me hate Nesta a little less because I hated her. I was like, bro, calm down. We get that you didn't want what happened to you to happen to you.
Need to make it like everybody else's problem.
Literally, like, calm down. It doesn't revolve around you.
Yeah, I think that's my issues. I just don't like Nesta, and I read it and I still don't like her.
Yeah, I mean, it took me until like halfway to start being like, oh, she's not that bad, but like, she will never be my favorite character in that series. Although I feel like Elaine doesn't do anything, you know, at least. Like, bro, why are you just laying around making flowers and fucking brooding?
She's a pretty princess. That's all she does. She just needs to look pretty.
That is all she does. She looks pretty and she makes flowers. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was part of my frustration reading the series too, is you have Feyre over there trying her best and her two sisters, which aren't they both older than her?
I think so. And like, fucking Feyre's out here like getting meat and providing for her family, and her family's like, look at this flower I made, and everyone's like, wow, great.
What,
thanks.
You just made some money? Here, spend that money on me. That way I can have pretty shoes or look prettier. It was like Cinderella.
Yeah, it was.
It was choices.
Sisters kind of pissed me off.
Useless. They were useless. There were vibes. Vibes were happening in that book. And of course you got, oh shoot, what was the guy's name?
Hamlin.
I mean, yes, there's that guy, but
Tampon man. There's Tamlin, Rhysand, as my
Breezand.
man, Asriel, my man. I'm an As stan. And then Cassian, who my sister's a Cassian fan.
And then you got Lucian.
Yeah, I'm indifferent about him.
Everyone loves him, and I have to reread the series. And I was like, I'm like, I wouldn't say I hated him or disliked him. I like he's okay. I liked him. He was kind of neutral. Tamlin, I don't hate the man as much as everyone else does.
I hate him. I hate him so much.
Actually, correction, you're right. I think I do hate him. The longer I think about the first book, the more I'm just like, you kind of reap what you sow.
Yeah, like the first book is made out so much that like they really play up that you should love him. And then the first book just keeps going. The ending happens. Or like the second book. I don't remember when everything goes down exactly because it's been quite a while since I've read them. Yeah, it's been a while. Ugh, I hate that man.
I can remember you were reading it and you're like, who is this recent guy? And I was like, I'm not going to spoil anything. All you need to know is this is my thoughts when I was reading it is this man's a dick, but he's a useful dick. And Tamlin's over there just sitting and watching.
Tamlin's just like, yeah, she may die. That's fine. And Rhys is over here being like, here is help. I got you. He really walked over and said, I got you, Pooks.
I'll keep you alive because you're our only hope of saving all the Fae from this tyranny. And he was a dick about it, but he was helpful. And Feyre was like not having it at all. She was like, he's a dick. I want nothing to do with this. And I'm like, Feyre, he's helping you. Shut up.
Literally.
I have love-hate with characters as we've portrayed. And somehow usually it's the main character that's female.
I really hope you like Bryce in Crescent City.
I'm trying to think. I
really hope so.
There's plenty of female characters in books I've read, and I don't hate them. It's just like the recently blown up ones I have to like pick fights on. Like Shadow and Bone, Elena, love her and I hate her. I love her because I like her personality, like what personality we see and everything. I kind of like her, but at the same time, all she does, at least in the books, the show's better, but in the books, it feels like she's just like boy crazy, but only over her childhood. I wouldn't even say childhood friend, her orphan brother. The whole thing's weird. Anyway, she's just obsessed with him constantly throughout all 3 books. It's the world's going to end. And she's just like, Mal, where are you? And it's like, I like her, but the sheer amount of like yearning over Mal, essentially, I'm being nice saying yearning because it's more like whining.
Oh, no.
Well, it's kind of like there's things that she can be doing. And I guess that's the crux of my love-hate for all these books is there's things these people can be doing. There's stuff going on. And what they choose to do versus not do drives me up a wall. It's kind of like there's useful and there's useless. And I'm not saying emotions are useless. Like there's plenty of times to be emotional and all this stuff. But when you're reading a solid several chapters and the characters just randomly through the chapter just whining about another character and they're like, oh yeah, I'm in this war meeting right now, I should be focusing on this war meeting. Instead all they're thinking about is a guy. I can't comprehend it.
I don't know, I haven't read the book, so I can't like fully speak, but like I can't remember what it was, but I was reading a book and the like main character just kept whining about something and I straight up just didn't finish that one. I was like, nope.
Can't do it.
Like, it was not the one.
But yeah, so to circle back to Fourth Wing, love the series. Sometimes I have moments where I'm just like, why did the author do this? Why did the author choose this? Why is the character doing this? And I think that's my bone to pick.
I feel like I love this book. I love it. I've read it. I've reread it many a times. I'm currently rereading it, obviously. And like there are moments where I'm like, man, that was not the smartest way to go about this. But also like Violet is like, what, she's like 20? in the first book. So I'm like, all right, you get a pass.
Is she even 20?
Yeah, because conscription day happens.
Oh, on your 20th birthday, yeah.
Yeah, or like the year that like you turn 20.
Okay, yeah.
So she's 20, which like also like whenever I was 20, I wasn't smart. I don't think. Like looking back on myself now, like at the time I probably thought I was, but now I'm like, man, silly ass me.
You're smart now?
I like to think so. Maybe on occasion, sometimes not so much, but I'm gonna go with yes.
I feel like I'm always stupid and I'm just stupid all the time. And then someone does something or say something, and then I go, at least I'm not that stupid.
Fair enough. I regularly look at things and I'm like, well, at least I made better choices than that.
Pretty
And
much.
I'm like, that kind of gives me some sort of hope.
I feel like I'm just outing myself as a hater. I hate everything. And at the same time, I love everything.
Do be like that.
Actually, you know what? There's one thing I haven't really hated on. Some other stuff I love reading is I've gotten really into web comics and like the light novels. And I've grew up reading One Piece. I don't think there's really anything I hate about One Piece if we're ignoring the anime. I can pick the anime. I feel like everyone can just agree on the pacing sucks. But the story of One Piece is good. I got one story. I don't have nasty things to say. I say nasty. None of it's really nasty. It's more just why.
I haven't read One Piece, but we probably know how I feel about the show. It wasn't my thing. I thought it was incredibly boring, but that was just because of the pacing issues.
Oh, it's so bad. The anime is so bad.
The pacing was just brutal.
So bad. Oh my gosh. It's okay, everybody. I got ready to watch the live action.
The live action was good. I did enjoy it. I don't remember 90% of what happened.
Fair.
Outside of the silly little pink guy existed.
Oh, Kobe.
Yeah. The silly little pink guy. Pink-haired dude.
Silly little pink guy. I still to this day find it hilarious. I made relatively stupid choices and I made them knowing that they were stupid. I basically pulled an all-nighter to watch it when it came out. And I remember Buggy showed up, and the longer I stared at Buggy, and it's like, mind you, like freaking like 3-4 in the morning or something. And I'm just like, did they make Buggy hot? Is Buggy hot? And the rest of the week, the internet just blew up over thirst traps of Buggy. And I'm like, I'm glad to know I wasn't insane at 3 or 4 in the morning.
I do absolutely love that they made Buggy hot, because that was not a needed attribute. He was not hot in the anime, but I really appreciated that, because it gave that was the only reason I watched it, was for the hot clown.
Hot clown.
Hot clown.
We're just showing our biases out there now, aren't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Give us hot clown books. Oh my gosh. I don't want to know any referrals or recommendations for hot clown books. I'm actually kind of concerned on that.
I mean, it's not a hot clown book, but I feel like there's another book that's probably about a clown that's on the same like level as the smut book with the doorknob.
Oh gosh.
The sentient door. I feel like there's probably clown smut on the same level, which, like, I'm putting this out there. I read that book. I sat down and I read it, and I had a great time. Was it absolutely insane? Yes. But I had a good time. It was just a silly little read. And also, I really want to read Quan Mills's books, because this man, if you don't know who he is, go to TikTok and look him up, because he's so funny and I need to read his books. His books seem like, one of them seems like it would be like super small, and then I saw like a TikTok of someone who got it and they were like, this book is like 350 pages.
Oh my gosh.
And he like cranks out books like there's no tomorrow. He's just going at it. And his muse is questionable. I want to read one so bad.
Add that to birthday ideas.
Oh no. The first time you bought me smut.
I guess we should go ahead and wrap up our first episode. It was nice chit chatting. I'm Chilly. This is Ray. We read good things. We read bad things. We question our choices. Sometimes we don't question our choices.
So we just question our sanity.
Sometimes we just question our sanity. A lot of the times we're questioning our sanity. We love books most times, more often than not. Even if it's a bad book, I think I still love the book. The Orange Tree.
Oh, The Priory of the Orange Tree. Not my thing. People raved about that book. And then I read it and I was like, this sucked. It was just so political. So, ugh. It was so heavy in politics. And that's not my thing. If it's your thing, you'd probably like it. I was so excited for it too. And then I got it and I read it and I was like, I was slugging through it and I only finished it just to say that I have.
Fair. I have not read the book yet, so I have no thoughts because I haven't read it yet. I think I have a sample, an ebook sample, but that's about it. I can't think of a book I actually hate off the top of my head.
I can think of one, but it's super controversial, and so I'm not gonna say it on here because people will come at me and
rip you to pieces.
I don't like that. Yeah.
My closest is my love-hate for Shadow and Bone. I love the series so much that I actually hate some of the choices, which it's her first, the Shadow and Bone trilogy was her first books that got big and everything. And she was a new author and all that still. But I'm just I want her to, in 10 years or 20 years or whatever, to go back and rewrite the series or something. I don't know. I feel I think my anger with the books is that there's so much I feel that could have been done or could have been done better. But yeah, so go ahead and sign on out, y'all. Pretty much. Yeah, I feel I just threw on an accent.
A little bit, but it's a little random accent at the end.
Yeah.
Your Texan is coming out.
Way too hard. That's what happened when I got stranded in nowhere, Texas.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't talk to anyone though. This was a long minute.
Yeah. I was like, damn, this minute's just keeps going.
It just goes and goes. It'll be only hilarious if we keep this in the episode. Just us two continue talking, going, oh, we're about to get booted.
We gotta love Zoom's 40-minute option.
Woo, we're too broke to pay for more.
Do be like that.
This is a long minute.
Yeah, I was like, this minute is just still going. Maybe I'm impatient, but